Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Lavinia and I post beauty videos regarding makeup, skin, and hair multiple times a week, so if that's something you're interested in, I'd love for you to join my channel by hitting the big red subscribe button. Today's video is going to be a wear test and review on the Sephora Clean Glowing Skin Foundation. Now, I recently saw this featured on Hiram's channel. He did a video talking about some makeup products which he mentioned this foundation in, and it was basically talking about a bunch of makeup products that he actually thinks are great and kind of like skincare makeup. So that immediately interested me since, you know, I do makeup and skincare here on my channel, and when I heard him say like a foundation that's like skincare, I had to buy it, and that is this one right here. So this is supposed to be a lightweight foundation that's supposed to give you a nice amount of coverage but also have some great skin benefits to it. So I thought, what more could you want than the perfect like skincare foundation that gives you some coverage? So I couldn't wait to try it, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I applied this and also a wear test. So if you want to see all of that, just keep on watching.
Oh, you tell me stories, you tuck me in, and the second you leave, I call you right back to check for monsters in my sheets.
Alright, so let's get into some of the information on this product first. So this is the Clean Glowing Skin Foundation, and it is enriched with matcha tea and vitamin C, which is supposed to hydrate the skin and leave it with a radiant finish and light buildable coverage. Sounds great. This is dermatologist tested and non-comedogenic, and it has a shelf lifetime of 12 months, which is pretty standard. It comes with 30 milliliters, 1 fluid ounce. That's pretty standard for a foundation, and I do believe this is a more affordable option for like a foundation you find at Sephora, since it is part of the Sephora collection. So now I do want to take a look at the ingredients, so I'm just gonna peel this back. All right, let's take a look at what we see in here. So I see glycerin in here, and glycerin acts as a humectant to really just make sure that the skin is staying hydrated, similar to how hyaluronic acid works. So I do like that. I see jojoba oil, which I actually do like jojoba oil in skincare. There's also sunflower seed wax in here. I also see lactic acid in here, which lactic acid is one of my favorite exfoliating ingredients, so that's actually really cool that that's in here. Citric acid, but I don't see any fragrance in here, which is so exciting to see. And even when applying it, I didn't notice any fragrance, so that's awesome. So now let's get into actually trying this out and putting this on and my first impressions. So let's get into that. Alright, so I just finished doing my skincare, so my skin is all nice and prepped for this look. And for primer, I'm going to use my Tatcha This Silk Canvas. We're really going to give the foundation a fighting chance because this is like the best primer ever. I'm just going to grab some, smooth it out. It really smooths out your pores and everything. My skin always feels so good after I do my skincare, and then prime too. It just feels like so rich. Alright, so I have the foundation here, and let's get to testing this out. So this is supposed to be a clean glowing skin foundation, and I got mine in the shade 5. Now I was a little worried that this one would be a little too dark for me, but I just swatched it on my neck and I think it's gonna be almost perfect. Now, I've actually heard that this foundation is really great at applying with your hands. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna split up my face to like 3 sections. We're gonna try it with a brush, then a sponge, then my hands, and see which one I like better. So it is in a squeeze tube, which I do like. It's like the perfect bottle for traveling because it's not glass and stuff. And I know people really like pumps, but honestly, when it's a squeeze tube like this, nothing will really get into the product. So I think it's hygienic in my opinion, and I usually just squeeze it out onto my face or onto a brush, so I'm fine with that. So I'm going to start off with a brush. So I'm actually just going to apply a little bit onto the brush, not too much because I really want to see how this builds. So there we go. We're going to use the brush on this side of my face. Ooh. It's not like as liquidy as I thought it would be. It's a little more on the creamy side, which is nice. Oh, it's actually giving me pretty nice coverage so far. That blended out really nicely, actually. It almost just blended in like a moisturizer. Let's go ahead and apply some of the product onto a sponge, and I promise the sponge is clean. It's just really stained. I think I like the brush side more just because with a sponge, since this foundation is a bit more on the thinner side, it might be this Rare Beauty sponge though, because the like holes on it are a bit bigger, so it kind of leaves an imprint, whereas like a Beauty Blender, Real Technique sponge or anything like that doesn't as much. But I think I personally just prefer how the brush kind of melted it into my skin more. And now I'm going to apply some onto my hand. We're going to test it right here in the middle. I like my finger because it kind of melted in and it's kind of like a tinted moisturizer in that way. I'm going to continue with the brush though for this video, and then I might use my hand as like a final touch. So, blend this out. It's actually giving me pretty good coverage. I was definitely expecting a little bit lighter, but I'm definitely okay with more coverage. And I'm just going little by little because just want to see how much product I'll need. I'm gonna use this kind of as concealer today with the sponge, and go onto my eyelids because I really want to test out this product, so I don't want to use like any other concealer or anything. Just gonna be using this product today for all my coverage. Okay, why did that actually give me good coverage on my eye? Look at this lid versus this one. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm gonna take a bit more of the foundation onto the back of my hand, and I'm gonna use my finger this time to kind of spot conceal with this. You guys know that this is usually how I'll get that extra coverage on places I do want to cover up more. I find this is the best way to do it without getting cakiness. So I don't think I'm gonna do any more coverage than that. I'm gonna keep it so that, you know, some of my scars and freckles are still poking through. So this is what the foundation looks like before setting it down. It does have a bit of that dewiness to it, but overall I think it looks pretty good on the skin. It's not really like sitting on top of my skin too much. It's kind of like melted in, so I like that. I'm just going to set my foundation with the Sistar Cosmetics It's You Skin Perfecting Finishing Powder. This has easily become my favorite setting powder. It just gives the most beautiful, natural look to the skin, and it still makes sure your makeup's set in all day, but doesn't make it look cakey, and really great powder for texture. So, since I have that from like acne scarring and stuff, it's my perfect powder, and I think it'll work well with this foundation. Alright, so now that my skin is set, I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be right back to tell you guys how things applied over this foundation. Alright guys, so I just finished doing the rest of my makeup, and I will say everything applied really well. I did do like a glam look, but I kept it pretty light coverage, so you can still kind of see my true skin under the foundation, but so far it's looking pretty good. I'm curious to see how this kind of wears down, because I usually like how foundation looks when it's kind of worn down a little bit, so I guess we'll see, but I'll update you guys in a couple hours. Alright guys, so it is currently like 11 p.m. and I put this foundation on around like 1-ish, so it's been quite a few hours, and I don't usually wear makeup on my face for longer than this, so I'll zoom you guys in and let's take a look at the foundation. So, you know, a little crusty here and there. My forehead did get a little oily, and it did kind of break it down, but it kind of broke down in a good way, if that makes sense. It definitely did get into my smile lines here, but I feel like since this is a cream foundation and it like is more of that moisturizer feel, you can literally just go ahead and touch it up. It did wear a fairly long time. I will say this is probably its like max point, because like the foundation on my nose is definitely worn off and it's getting a little bit you know, it's kind of clinging to my dry spots around my mouth, but I'd say it wore pretty good for more of that dewy natural foundation, because usually those types of foundations are off in like a few hours. But even though it wore off in not the worst possible way. Now, I know this is kind of random, but I was actually taking some pictures earlier and this photographed so good. No flashback or anything like that. It looks so flawless on my skin. So definitely you know, my new favorite foundation for photography. All right, guys, so time for my final thoughts. If I were gonna wear this foundation any longer, I would set like my forehead and nose, because they're looking a little bit on the greasy side, but honestly, I'd say my skin looks pretty nice for how long I've been wearing this, and for it being a lightweight foundation that's probably not meant to last such a long time. So honestly, I really enjoyed this. I love how easy it was to apply, and I'm definitely going to be using this more as like an everyday, day-to-day foundation, because I can literally apply it with my hands as a moisturizer, just kind of slather it on really quick and easy. Great for traveling. You can even bring it with you for touch-ups, but overall, it gave me that nice glam look, nice coverage, where it didn't cover too much of my skin, but still gave me the right amount of coverage I wanted. It doubled as a concealer too, and it didn't crease incredibly much under my eyes either. I think it looks really natural and beautiful on the skin, and this is such a great option if you know you like wearing foundation sometimes, but you don't want a foundation that maybe has damaging ingredients that will worsen your skin. So this is definitely something I was really intrigued to try, and I'm really happy with the results. I really enjoyed how this wore, and if it's a product that, you know, has some good ingredients in there and can kind of double as my makeup and skincare, I think this is awesome, because I spend so much time thinking what's in my skincare, but when it comes to makeup, you know, I kind of don't look into the ingredients as much as how they perform. So the fact that this has some really great ingredients in there is awesome. And obviously you guys saw, you know, I have acne, and it did a pretty good job at covering my acne up without it looking cakey or anything like that. So overall, love this, and I'm definitely going to be using this or more on a daily basis. It's definitely going to be one of my new favorites, I think, based on this first impressions and wear test. But if you guys have tried that foundation, let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts as well. If you enjoy these types of videos, please give me a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to turn on my post notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And yeah, guys, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, you tell me stories, you tuck me in, and the second you leave, I call you right